Alright guys, thermal throttling. We all heard that in Windows Bootcamp it is a pain on these Macs, and it's true. It's true, it is a pain. These Macs, they ask for too much power, too much watts, which makes the fan go crazy, and it can actually eat into the battery life of your processor. And the reason why it does this is that these CPUs out of the box, their base speeds, this one in particular, is 2.3 gigahertz. However, it's got a maximum turbo mode and a middle turbo mode. What that means is maximum turbo, for about 10 seconds, it's going to go to the maximum speed that it can go, and it's going to ask for about 100 watts of power and 125 watts of power. Too much for the battery, it's going to make your fans go crazy. If you want to play a game, not an ideal situation. And secondly, there's something called normal turbo mode. So after that 10 seconds, it's going to drop down, still eat more power than the base turbo, just to get as fast as possible. And that guy on this CPU eats around 60 watts of power, which makes the fans go crazy, playing a game, yucky, all that good, not so good. So I use a cool app, free again, called ThrottleStop, and it's on Windows. And with that, I can set my maximum turbo wattage and my middle turbo wattage. Amazing, amazing. So what I do, I set my maximum turbo. That only lasts 10 seconds. I'm not concerned with that because that keeps my PC going as fast as possible on most of the tasks. However, for long-term gaming, long-term heavy usage, I set my medium turbo mode to around 30 or 27 watts, depending on how much fan noise I want. And what that does is it allows my CPU to still boost higher than its base frequency. It goes to around 3 gigahertz in that watt levels. And it doesn't eat into the battery life. The fans are quiet AF and life is happy. So this is the guide on how to use ThrottleStop on your Mac in Windows. If you're interested on how to set this guy up on macOS, check my other video. And guys, I hope you enjoyed the show.
Alright, today I'm going to show you the biggest battery killer on MacBooks and Intel processors in general. Check it out. Hit run, and all the way to 90 watts of power this test does. And if you keep on running this test or running anything CPU intensive like encoding or video gaming that uses multiple cores, you are going to be out of battery because the charger won't be able to charge you. Not only that, if you can't hear, the fans have gone full on max, so it's a very noisy experience. What I'm going to introduce to you today is this app called ThrottleStop, and you can download it from techpowerup.com. Just type it into Google, hit the download button, and you're set for life. It launches in the system bar. So I'm just going to hit show. Now this app, Tech Power Up, is super powerful. You can do so much stuff, but I'm going to show you the 1 and 2 features that I use. So 1, performance mode, game mode, all this internet mode, I leave it all the same. However, in battery mode, I have disable turbo ticked. Hit saved. That means every single time I run ThrottleStop, it will automatically disable turbo boost and limit my speed to its base speed, which in this case is 2.3 gigahertz. However, for more advanced usage, you can click on that TPL button, and I'm going to switch it over to performance mode. Hit that TPL button, and what you'll notice here is that there's a lot of options to tweak, but what I want to show you is package power long and package power short. So previously we were eating up 90 watts of power because it was eating as much power as it could, and that's because it's not limited, the power it can pull. So I like to limit my short period to 60, and my long period I like making that 27, and these figures are going to be customizable depending on your CPU. I'm using an i9 2.3 gigahertz at the moment with 8 cores. I find this configuration makes my computer run fast and makes the fan speed run at a minimal. That's kind of like my level. If 27 is too high for you, you can try 25, 26, or if you've got a better binned processor than mine, you can go slightly bit higher. So that's it, it's set. I'm going to run SimBench one more time. And as you can see here, I'm only pulling 56 watts for the short period. And notice the short period lasts longer than previously, where it would just spike up to the top. So I'm still getting a pretty fast CPU over here. I'm getting 4 gigahertz. And then after that period of time, it shoots down to 27 watts. But let me just show you Geekbench. So look at right there, it's running over 4 gigahertz. And it's not pulling in anywhere close to the limits I've set, because this is a very weak benchmark, and usually when you game, you only game on 2 cores. So setting a sensible package power limit is very useful because it limits that battery drain. Anyway, back to ThrottleStop here. There's a couple of options. Like I said, there's disable turbo and there's TPL and setting your CPU's power limits. Short is for the instant turbo. I personally have mine at 60, which means I don't get battery drain. And for longer term use, I have it a low 27. You can have it higher than that, but I find for my CPU, if I have it at 27, the fans don't go mental when I'm doing stuff. So once you're happy with your settings, what you want to do is make this app run on startup, because the settings are only applied when you launch the app. So go into the start menu and type in task scheduler. And this, you're going to see that your Windows computer is being bombarded by nonsense. Look at all these active tasks I have here. So I'm going to go into my library, and Apple, they have an update. You know what I'm going to do? Disable. Intel, for some reason, they're sending out telemetry. Luckily, I have a firewall to block this, but what I want to do is disable. Speed up your computer. Microsoft has a ton of crap. I probably will leave the Microsoft stuff alone because it's just endless. If anyone has any ideas of what I can do with Microsoft, let me know. But if you go into the main one, you're going to see AMD, the beautiful good guys. They are constantly phoning home. So I'm going to hit disable, AMD link, disable, APFS. Oh, actually, I don't want that. Updater, disable, CC cleaner, disable, Google. How many update tasks do you need? It's trying to update Chrome every single 5 seconds. Modify link. The only one I like is Start CM, because that is the Radeon settings application. So I'm going to leave that one, but Start DVR, I never use that. So I've disabled all of this nonsense. And then now I'm ready to add my own. So I'm going to go hit task scheduler local and then create basic task. Now I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it ThrottleStop. And I'm going to run it when I log into my computer. Start program. And I'm going to browse to where I installed the programs. There it is. No start arguments. And I want to click open properties when I click finish. So open that. Now I want to run with the highest privileges because this has to play around with the CPU. When we log in, actions, start program, conditions. Now I want to disable these two options because I want it to also start when the computer is in battery mode, especially. And allow task to run in demand. Stop task if it runs longer than 3 days. So I don't want it being stopped ever until I specifically stop it. And untick that one because I don't want it playing around again. So that is it. Hit close. I've now got a new task in my library. It's called ThrottleStop. Its status is ready. I can even start it right now. But now when I restart the computer every single time on login, ThrottleStop will launch and it will go ahead and set my TPL limits. That's that. Hope you found this tutorial useful and enjoy gaming with quieter fans.
So that's it. We can officially use our MacBook Pro without worrying about battery life, without worrying about fan noise. You're welcome. Thank you. Guys, any questions, comments, section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the show.